Musictech. Some people grew personally a great deal. There were people that were 45 years old that learned how to write their first song, and it blew their mind, you know. And there were 18-year-old kids who had never had a good pat on the back before, and I saw that happen. There were other professional reasons too, you know. I'm a careerist myself, and I knew that I had to get better at my instrument. I can safely say I would have been 4 or 5 years farther behind in my career path had I not come here. It introduced me to people. Again, people are the priority in the music business. It's not as simple as it's all about who you know. It's more like how you know them and what you take from people and what you give to people. And at Musictech, there was a wealth of folks that had a lot to offer.
I usually am pretty much set to where they want it. I might mess with that a little bit. I'm really concerned with the mid-time. I'm really concerned with the crossover and the high frequency cutoff in there, the size of the room, the meter size. You know, you can take a small room or cubic meter-wise, bring that out to be a medium-sized room.
Musictech is one of the few schools in the world that actually has a program that is designed for musicians, for producers, for engineers, for music business students, that is integrated, and there's a synergistic aspect to each of the programs so that they basically work together.
What makes Musictech unique, I believe, is its ability to take a student who, on the one hand, someone who's an artist who knows very little about technical aspects of production or engineering, on the other hand, someone who is a technician and has a mind for that, and helping to teach the creative side of it as well as the craft in musical settings.
We can draw from a wide variety of musical talents and genres within the school for production and recording purposes. We're also one of the few schools that offer over 200 hours of open lab time to each student.
I feel it's absolutely world-class, top-notch people. These people not only can play, but they can teach and organize, because I know a lot of people that can play, but they can't teach or they can't organize.
The other thing is that you get a much more hands-on experience here in Musictech than you would at most other colleges in a college situation across the country. The guitar student here has the guitar in their hands about a dozen hours a week in the classroom, which is much better than any other situation I've heard of.
Let's try it again. This time, keep your head down. Your head's coming up. You're straining for them. And I think it's an automatic mechanism for you to get into the song. But try to find a better posture and keep your head down, and you're not going to strain so much to get it. Once again, from the diaphragm. Try it again. Amazing. Keep the head more this way. Bring the sound up to the front of your head for more resonance. Okay. Feel the difference? Yeah.
Okay. It'll be a bar of A minor. It'll be like this.
Okay, the key that we'd be in for this 2-5 A minor to D7 would be in the key of G major, right? Which means that the A minor chord is built off the A Dorian scale, right? And the D7 chord is built off the D Mixolydian scale.
I think that the music business is filled with people who are not prepared, and it makes me feel bad that people go into this arena and are not knowledgeable about what it is they want to do. So it's necessary for anybody to have a real strong sense of their business. This is going to be a career that you're planning, then you have to start treating it like a career.
We focus on practical, real-world, contemporary music skills, i.e., there's a lot of study of chord-symbolized notation in the keyboard department, whereas traditional music departments focus on traditional notation and repertoire.
Well, it starts off we've got a series of 3 music fundamentals classes that you are basically learning all the essential tools that put music together, notes and rhythms and chords and scales and the basics of melody and harmony. Paired along with that are what we have, they're called ear training classes. And ear training classes are the skills aspect of this class, so that a student, say, could listen to a melody eventually and understand what that is and be able to write it down, notate it.
The emphasis that Musictech uses and I use in my department is an emphasis of realism, I believe, more than anything. The days of the mega $1-million contract for recording artists and getting in a giant band, and those days are kind of gone. You have to be as versatile as you can be to work. We're a 1-year technical college and 2-year accredited college that's going to give you as much information as you can possibly get about making a living in this business.
An ideal student that I personally look for, number 1 is a character issue, a person with good upbringing and good character. That's very important to the fabric of the school. Number 2 is going to be desire, that they really truly want to do this. I think everybody looks at music and thinks maybe it would be fun, it would be a good time. Truly, I hope that they experience this in the music industry, but this is a business.
I first came for orientation and they were very welcoming and very warm, and they took me around, and the staff is very knowledgeable, and you get a chance to meet students from all over, not just the United States but from other countries, and they all have different and very diverse backgrounds.
I love Musictech.
Yeah, it's like my second home. It's like my second home.
Word. I'm telling you, like I was telling somebody the other day, you know, it's like once you come in here and you experience it, it's like, man, it's like you can't even think of any place else. I mean, if you're really into music, you can't even think of any place else you'd rather be but here. You know what I'm saying? It's just vibing.
At this point, we're at about four hours a week where the students actually learn how to rehearse and perform, and they're required to perform live a couple of times a semester, and then we go out towards the end of the semester and do live venues where we actually take a real nightclub and go in and bring in an audience, and the student gets a chance to really feel what it's like with the lights and the PA and the ambiance.
If you have a problem, you can always stop a teacher in the hallway and he'll drag you into a room and he won't let you go until you go like, uh-huh.
Not only I've made a lot of great friends, but I've met a lot of great musicians who I've played with and recorded with, and hopefully will be working with in the future.
Oh, please! If you love heavy metal, or let's just say if you love hard rock, and you come to Musictech, please don't play hard rock at Musictech. You know, do anything else. Take classical, learn jazz chords, do anything to bust up your mind. It's not going to do you any good to come here and work your strengths. That's not what it's about.